finally found 2 minutes to sit down and do this intro. I've been trying for 2 weeks. Oh, I don't know. Life gets in the way, doesn't it? We've been here, there, and everywhere. So, winter is fast approaching, and one of the big things that I like to do come the end of the summer months and into the first month of the autumn is to try and get prepped and get ahead for the inevitable winter sniffles and the things that go round all through the winter. And so today we're going to have a look at a couple of different herbal remedies. Okay, well, I've got the recipes on the blog, so I thought I'd do a short video to show you how I made them. So today we're going to have a look at two of them. We're going to have a look at elderberry syrup. Fantastic for if you've got a cold. It's been proven in clinical trials to reduce the length of a cold by about 4 days. So that's incredibly helpful when you have still got stuff to do. And we're going to have a look at oxymels. Now, oxymels are great for, especially we used it last year for when you get a little tickly cough. It's like a really nice cough syrup, settles it all down, settles your throat down. So we're going to have a look at elderberry syrup and oxymels. Let's go. So I make my elderberry syrup in my instant pot. And you can quite easily do it on the hob, in a stock pot, a big stock pot if you've got one. But it's just easier for me to make mine on here. It's about half the time, that's all. So this is some dried elderberries that I had, and some cinnamon sticks. The recipe's on the blog, don't forget. And some water, with some lemon. Now, I've just sliced the lemon in half, squeezing the juice out of it, and then putting the actual pieces of the lemon into the stock pot as well to get all the goodness out of them. I'm going to add some ginger here in a second, just to chop in a knob of ginger up there to throw in as well. All helps. I didn't have any cloves, but I would have put them in if I did. I'm just going to give it a quick stir and then set it to about 15 minutes, I think I do, on here. Yeah, 15 minutes, there you go. That's it when it's done, look. Lovely. It's not very thick, but you're going to strain it anyway, and then you're going to mash all the goodness out of it. It's all hot and steaming. You wait for it to cool down a little bit and strain it, and then when it's cooled down enough to touch, you're going to add some raw honey, and that adds another massive benefit to it. So I'm just trying to mix my thick raw honey into there, and then I store it in the fridge and take it when we get the sniffles. So now we're on to the oxymel. Now, oxymel is basically just honey and vinegar, and acid and some honey. But it's really fantastic good if you can use raw for both of them. So I've got raw honey there, and I've got raw apple cider vinegar. Now, this honey is a nightmare because it goes so thick and solid, even in the summer. It's awful. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but it's a pain to deal with sometimes. However, if yours is like this, don't worry. It's going to sit in the bottom, and it's going to just be a big gelatinous bit in the bottom when you put your apple cider vinegar in. But as the days go by, every day you shake it up a little bit, and it eventually dissolves into the vinegar, and it's not a big blob at the bottom. I'm describing it really lovely, aren't I? That is some homegrown and home dried sage that I've got in there. Fantastic for helping beat all the winter ailments. And that's some ginger I'm just peeling and putting into there as well. Again, a fantastic warming, soothing it's a spice really, isn't it? So that combination of the two is fantastic to really soothe your throat in the winter months when you've got a really bad throat. Now, this is me just adding it up to the top, so I'm trying to get roughly, it's not exact science, but roughly half honey and half apple cider vinegar, raw apple cider vinegar. I've got plastic lids there as well. Now, there's a reason for that, and that's because if you've got a vinegar or an acid, it can interact with the metal lids. So I put my plastic ones on if I know it's going to have something acidic in it. And that way I don't have to risk the lids rusting and it interacting and stuff. I'm labelling it here because I'm a swine for that. I never remember what's in it. I mean, this one you can see through, but there's lots of things I forget what's in it, and I forget when I've made it. So I'm just showing you there. That'll take about a month in a dark place, and then it can help. There we go, I've got the lid off, and as you can see, if you look at the texture of it, it's quite sticky, but if you look at the texture, it's like a thick syrup, look. There's all the honey has melted down into it, and it's all melted into the acid of the apple cider vinegar, and there's no honey left there. So if you see the one I made before, big lumps of honey in it, but this one is all clear and melded together, and it tastes acidically sweet. It's a really strange taste, but if you're in Britain and you've got Buttercup cough medicine, it tastes like that. It's gorgeous.